I need help confronting my son's father, Chris. Right before I found out I was pregnant, I found out he was sleeping with my sister.
How long after that did they get married?
Within a month. He treats my sister's kids, better than he treats my son. He sits there and calls my son a retard. What is wrong with my son?
You called your 3-year-old son a dumbass. Why would you stay with a man that verbally abuses your children?
I stayed with him thinking, well, maybe he'll change.
But why would you get with a man that had just got your sister pregnant?
I didn't care if I hurted her or not.
I told you. I said, don't you dare hurt my daughter. You drove a wedge between my family. I will never forgive you.
I'm through. I'm done.
You took a lie detector test before the show, and the results of your lie detector test. Welcome to the show. My first guest is Ashley. Ashley, you called the show. Why are you here today?
Because I need help confronting my son's father, Chris, because he has put me through a lot of emotional distress, and he has nothing to do with his son. And he left me, he left me for my sister. He treats my sister's kids, better than he treats my son.
You got involved with a guy.
I lost my virginity to him when I was 18, and he turned around and I just got reunited with my sister because we were in foster care until we were 18, and I put all my trust into her, and she ended up sleeping with him.
How old were you when you put in foster care?
Probably about 5 or 6.
And during this time, you lost contact with your sister. Is she your older sister or younger sister?
My older sister.
She's your older sister. Were you happy when you found your sister?
Yeah, I was, and then I found out because Chris proposed me, and we were talking about having kids, and we purposely tried to get pregnant, and I was stupid. I was 18 years old, and right before I found out I was pregnant, I found out he was sleeping with my sister, and I told them that, and they got married.
How long after that did they get married?
Within a month.
How long were you with him before he was with your sister?
We weren't together that long, but the fact is that I was pregnant, and he should have known better than to get married to her. We were only together about 2 months, and he says it's a week, but it was 2 months.
I mean, it must hurt you deeply that your sister, even though you weren't growing up with her, but you find her, that she would sleep with the guy that you're with, and then they get married. How long after you told him you were pregnant? Not even a month? Did she ever explain why she did this?
Because they were meant to be together.
They were meant to be together. How was his reaction to you being pregnant?
He just smirked it off. He didn't really care.
And how old is was it son? How old is your son now?
18 months.
He's 18 months. Is he a good father?
It has nothing to do with Julian at all. I sit there and I gave him so many chances to be a part of his life, and every single time he hasn't done anything. When Julian was born, he gave Julian a thing of diaper rash cream that had already been used and said, here's that. He has other sons from my sister, and he does more for them kids than he does, my son.
How many children does he have with your sister?
He has 2 with my sister, and then he has a stepson. But he's 20 years old, and he has 4 kids. And he doesn't understand how hard it is to raise a kid on his own.
How did you find out he was sleeping with your sister?
He told my mom when they were working together, because my mom got him a job and everything, and he told her that they were sleeping together in our old house. And of course, he said, don't tell Ashley. And my mom's like, you must be an idiot, because she told me.
Well, of course. Why would he think that wasn't going to happen? What was your relationship like with your sister? Were you guys getting along?
Yeah, we were getting along pretty good until Chris came along, and then I introduced Chris to my mom and my sister, and I seen that look in her eyes, and I should have known. But when you trust somebody, you don't think something like that's gonna happen.
What was the look?
It's just I don't know. She gave him a flirty look.
And again, you say you were dating a couple months. He says a week. Either way, kind of a short time,
He's a
especially
liar.
jump into a commitment like that.
Yep, you know how 18-year-olds are. They're naive. You know, and especially for my first one, I thought, you know, I didn't think anything was going to go wrong. I thought we were going to be together forever, and that's what we talked about. You know, that we wanted to have a kid, and so we purposely tried to get pregnant. And now he's not taking any responsibility.
Was he working at the time?
Yeah. We met actually at work.
Okay, so you both were working, but did you really think like you're with this guy that I'm 18 years old, I'm gonna be with him for the rest of my life?
Actually, yeah, I did. And then, I don't know, something just snapped and he just started being mean.
What was it that snapped? Was it that you telling him you're pregnant? What was it?
Yeah, I think it was that.
And when you say mean, what was he doing to you?
Okay, when I found out I was pregnant, we bought a whole bunch of food and, you know, they could eat it. Chris told me I needed to stop eating because I was too fat. So I lost 20 pounds. So I almost lost the baby.
Explain to me how you get a woman pregnant by accident. Were you walking down the street?
No.
And whoop, and you get the sister pregnant a month later. Was that an accident too? But why would you get with a man that had just got your sister pregnant?
I didn't care if I hurted her or not.
He confides into your mom, which honestly, this guy sounds like a dope. I'm sleeping with your one daughter, but I'm going out with your other daughter, I'm sleeping with her. But don't tell Ashley. I mean, what is this guy thinking?
That's his problem. He
And when
doesn't
your
think-
mom tells you, do you go and confront your sister?
I tried.
And what happened?
All she said is, well, it's already done and over with. We're together now. You just need to go.
Do you see your sister now?
Yeah, actually, she's living with us because she just left Chris and she needed help raising her boys, so I'm helping her. I know I let people run.
No. I mean, there's people that can forgive anything, and you might be one of those people. What happened between them that she's not with him?
There's suspected child abuse, and I've actually seen it.
What kind of child abuse?
Well, first of all, he sits there and calls my son a retard.
He calls your son a retard, but that's his son. Why would he do that?
Because he has another son named Christopher, and Julian can't say as many words as Christopher can, so that's why he's a retard.
And so your sister's saying that he's abusing the children?
I've seen it. He grabbed my nephew's arm, and because he was supposed to be sitting in timeout, and he grabbed his arm and he pulled it up, and his shoulder blade was about ready to pop out. And we told him to stop because he was going to break his arm, and he's like, oh, it's not going to hurt him any. I've seen him whip my other nephew, Christopher, and he had big welts on his back.
How old are your nephews?
Joseph is 3, Christopher's 17 months, and then my son is 18 months. And then there's a newborn 11 days old. He was born the 20th of last month, and he stopped breathing, and Chris never called, never showed up. Did check on him. He still hasn't called.
Does he act like he even cares?
No.
Here's a crazy question. Is he a good father?
No. He's the worst father ever.
See, I want to be sympathetic to you, but that's why you really need to take your time, get to know somebody before you start bringing children into the world.
Yep.
And so, tell me again, why exactly are you here today?
Because I need help confronting Chris, because I want to tell him that he's not allowed in Julian's life anymore. I don't want him anywhere around my son. He's my son. I've been raising him since he was born. All me. I made sure he had diapers, everything. And if he has been abusing my nephews, I just need help confronting him and telling him, because if I just do it without any help, it's not going to go very good, because he has been known to get physical with people.
Has he ever got physical with you?
He's raised his hand to me. He's pushed my sister when she was 6 or 7 months pregnant. That's why I don't want to do it. alone.
Well, you don't have to worry. He's not going to do anything here. He denies abusing your sister's children and calling them names. And before the show, he took a lie detector test, and we will get to the results of that test. I'm going to bring him out now. This is Chris.
Yeah.
He's the father of your child, and he's the father of your sister's children. Let's bring Chris up.
Hello.
How you doing, Chris?
Not good.
You don't mind standing up until we clear this
No,
all
I
up,
don't.
right? And you are how old?
I am 20 years old.
20 years old. Ashley comes on. She says that she loves you. She gives herself as a woman to you for the first time, and she gets pregnant. And when she tells you she's pregnant, you go and run and start sleeping with her sister. What do you want to say to Chris?
I can't believe you even did that. You don't even want nothing to do with your son. What is wrong with my son? Why is he a retard, Chris? I don't understand.
Nobody called him a retard.
Yes, you did. Don't say you're lying in my
And
face.
Who heard me then?
You
I
called
heard
him
me.
a retard because he's not as smart as Christopher. How
Who-
dare you?
Who heard me say that?
You know what, Chris? I have been taking care of that baby since he was born. You have not done nothing for him.
You called your 3-year-old son a dumbass. Why would you stay with a man that verbally abuses your children?
I stayed with him thinking, well, maybe he'll change.
I told you. I said, don't you dare hurt my daughter. You drove a wedge between my family. I will never forgive you.
I'm not allowed to have your number.
You have my number now.
I have your number now. But
You
Melissa
had my
has
number
the phone.
before. All you had to do was ask my aunt.
No,
And she would. Yes.
had to call you and get permission.
You know what? This is childish. I'm not gonna argue, Chris. You need to step up and be a man.
I paid
You know what?
I paid child support, and I was there for that child when he was born. But you guys did not allow me back there to see
That's
my
because
son.
every time you went in the
I did
delivery
not
room,
get to
my
see
blood
my
pressure
son.
spiked up, and I would end up losing him.
No,
Do you want that, Chris?
no, I did not want him gone.
Then
No.
start acting like you don't want him gone. You have not done anything for him.
Whose fault is it for not
I have
having
been
money?
raising Julian on my own. All you had to do was call to check up on him. You never once did that.
Patty would not give me the number.
Yeah, that's bull.
You know what, Ashley? What I'd like to do now is I want to ask you to leave the stage, and at some point I'll bring you back out.
You may have a seat.
No, I don't want you to sit.
Okay.
I mean, I come, I do the show, and they type up these cards, and they put little questions down on here. But, like, this show, I'm like, what the hell do I need these cards for? I'm looking at a kid, 20 years old. You're with Ashley, right?
That was for like a very short time.
How
and,
short of a time?
And it was within a couple weeks.
How
to
short
maybe
of a
month.
time were you with Ashley?
It was over 2 years ago. It could have been. I think it was.
You're
a
not
few months.
answering the question. Answer the question that I'm asking you. How short of a time were you with her?
A few weeks.
A few weeks.
Yeah.
And in that few weeks, you managed to get her pregnant.
By accident, yes.
By accident? Explain to me how you get a woman pregnant by accident. Explain to me how that happens. Because it's never happened to me.
Yeah.
How did it happen? Were you walking down the street?
No.
And whoop! Whoa! And then you get the sister pregnant a month later. Was that an accident too?
No, that was actually.
That was planned.
He was planned.
Did you think it was a good idea to have a child with Ashley's sister a month later after Ashley told you she was pregnant?
Me and my wife talked about this.
And what was discussed? Hey, you were sleeping with my sister. You're going to have a baby with her. But I think it's a good idea.
Me and my
now
wife.
You have a child with me.
Me and my wife decided, and it was our relationship that we decided we wanted to have
You know
a
what?
child.
I know you're trying to soften the situation down by calling your wife, and I respect that she's your wife. But the point is, you're sleeping with one girl, and then you go and you sleep with her sister. Did you not take any of her feelings into consideration? How you might be devastating this young girl's life? That she's going to have to look at you for the rest of her life, knowing after you left her?
Yeah.
Hey, relationships break up all the time. Do whatever you want to do. But you don't have any consideration for a fellow human being that you're going to make this poor girl suffer by sleeping with her sister, by having children with her?
I fell in love with her sister, and her sister fell in love with me. And, you know, it's not something that I planned out to happen.
Like the baby you had with Ashley.
Exactly.
What have you done for this child that you brought into the world?
Well,
Don't pin it on her. Listen, don't point your finger at her. Because it's you who also decided to bring this child into the world. You take some responsibility. I want to know what you've done, not what she's not allowing you to do. I want to know what you are doing.
I showed up to, when the child was born, I was there, was not allowed to see my son. I was allowed to see him a month after he was born. When I went down there to visit for one time, he needed some milk and a couple of sippy cups, and I bought that for him. And for his birth gifts.
Give him a big hand. Milk and a sippy cups. It's not a standing O, but it's a hand.
No, I bought him Christmas presents.
What about food? What about diapers? What about things that a baby needs on a daily basis? What about the mother that's raising your child? Take care of her at all?
How am I supposed to know what they need? I can't. I don't have.
You
the
know
number.
what? That's my point. If you don't know what they need, then you shouldn't be having children. Yeah.
No.
I would love to go through life ignorant like you. Oh, it'd be so easy. Kids, what do they need? I don't know.
No, I know what kids need, but she never related to me what she needs, and if she doesn't need anything for the kid, if she has
Did you call her
food.
fat while she was pregnant?
No, I did not call her fat while she was pregnant.
She said she stopped eating and lost 20 pounds because you called her fat.
Well, that's kind of obscene to be able to lose 20 pounds just by not eating.
Tell me what is going to stop you from having any more children? The only thing you care about is your own sexual needs. You took a lie detector test before the show.
Yes.
And the results of your lie detector test. What's your wife's name?
Melissa?
Melissa, you ever abuse your children
No.
with her?
I have spanked my kids, and DHS knows about that. And
Why do they know about it?
because, well, DHS is in our life because
Why are they in your life?
Melissa was, and I was the worker. Melissa was the homemaker mom, and she would stay home and clean the house and do the cooking. And I'd come home and I'd help her out after I got home. And she didn't keep up with the house, and DHS came in while I was at work, and they started investigating us. They have
And it's for cleaning and not child abuse.
if they would have found child abuse or bruises in the state of Iowa, they would have took them away instantly.
So they never found any
They don't
form
find
of abuse.
no.
So who made up these claims of abuse?
That's what I'm here to find out.
Has
Also,
Melissa ever said that you abused your children?
I don't know.
You don't know? She's your wife.
She could have told her mom, and I don't know.
Did Melissa leave you?
Why did she leave me just now?
I'm asking you, did she leave you?
Yeah, she's
Why did she
separated.
leave you?
Because when we get in an argument, we use vulgar language to each other, and it's a type of mental abuse, and her mom told her to leave me because of it.
So you're calling your wife names, vulgar names.
And she calls me the same things.
Did you call your children names?
I've never called them retarded. I've never called them, in other words, like when...
What vulgar names do you call your children?
Well, there are words like, my wife also calls them the same thing.
Like dumbass?
That word has been said, yes.
Why would you call a child a dumbass?
It was just a word that came out.
It's just a word that came out.
Yes. Not on purpose, not meant to.
You ever call Melissa a bitch?
Yes, I have.
That's nice. You
And
call,
she's
you call
called-
your own wife.
She's called me a bastard. She's called me all kinds of same names.
And this dumbass is to a 3-year-old, right? You called your 3-year-old son a dumbass.
Yeah, Melissa has done the same thing, and if it's
I love that you keep going back to what she's done. Are
This
you
is-
are
this
you
is
a
just
man? Are you a man? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm asking you what you did. When she comes out here, I'll ask her what she did. But right now, I'm asking what. Here's a man that you throw your own wife under the bus. Why is that?
she'll say the same thing about me, and oh, my husband does this. He does this.
Nobody else is making allegations against you?
No, I heard my mother-in-law. She makes allegations, and which was really obscene. Like, I end up taking my steel-toe boot and kicking Joseph across the head, and which
Joseph is your son?
is my son, yes, and that is completely obscene, because wouldn't you think he would have at least been injured?
If you kicked a child
if I
in the
kicked
head
a
with
child,
with a steel-toe boot,
Yes.
yeah, I think your son would be
yes.
injured.
Or like she also said that I picked him up and threw him into a table stand.
Did you?
No,
Did you ever physically discipline your children?
it was smack him, tap him in the butt. Yes,
Tapping them or
spanking him on the butt. Sorry.
And how old is your children that you spank them in the butt?
3 years old, and I grew up in a family. My mother spanked me at that age, and she spanked all my brothers and sisters at that age, and
So the mother makes these allegations that you ever confront their mother? Saying, why are you saying I'm kicking my son with a steel-toe boot?
no, because I don't get to see him. She came up last week, but I did not want to start an argument.
Ashley tells a story that you told the mother that I'm sleeping with your other daughter, please don't tell Ashley.
No, her mother found out that me and Melissa were together by both of us telling her.
And just so we're real clear about this, you took a lie detector test before the show.
Yes.
And we'll get to your results. I'm going to have you leave the stage, and I'll bring you back out at some point, all right? Let's bring out his wife, Melissa, who is Ashley's sister. Have a seat. You just had a baby 11 days ago, right?
Yes, I did.
Congratulations. What'd you have,
Thank
little
you.
boy, little girl?
Little boy.
Little boy?
Yep.
What'd you name your boy?
Zachary,
Zachary. Scott, and this is your second child?
my third child.
Your third child.
Yes.
Got to be extremely happy.
Oh yeah, I'm very happy about that.
Was your husband there for the birth of your child?
Yes, and then 2 hours later he left
And why did he leave?
because he said he needed a shower and something to eat. And later on that night, my son quit breathing on me, and we had to be rushed back to the nursery to get some amniotic fluid out of his stomach and lungs. And after he finally got breathing again, then I called him and let him know that he quit breathing on us. And all he could say was, "Oh my God, is he okay?" And I said, "Yeah, now he's fine." And he goes, "Well, I got tires to do." And then we hung up, and he didn't bother coming back and seeing how his son was, or even calling.
I told you. I said, don't you dare hurt my daughter. You drove a wedge between my family. I will never forgive you.
So you said your newborn son has fluid in his lungs and his stomach, and he didn't come back and check or anything on
No.
your son.
No,
And how did you feel about that?
I felt hurt because it just goes to prove to me that he don't care. He don't care about me or any of his kids.
Do you think he showed a lot of caring towards your sister?
No, he has not.
And that's why I got to ask you. You come out, you seem like, you know, nice girl, just had a baby, you know, very, very joyous moment in your life. But why would you get with a man that had just got your sister pregnant?
Because I was being stupid.
Is it just that simple? Just
No.
being stupid? I mean,
It's
I
not
could, if
that
you came out,
simple.
you know what? If you came out here and told me it was your friend, he was dating your friend, and it's just being stupid, I'd say, okay, it happens. People you know, it happens all the time. But this is your sister. Both of you were given up at young ages, going through life, rocky childhood, going through foster homes, and you finally got somebody that you think you can count on, and she's very happy that, wow, I got a sister, this is great, we're together. She's in love with this guy. She's obviously very emotional about him. She's latching on to the first guy that comes down. She's pregnant. And then she finds out, and then not only do you get pregnant, you marry this guy, knowing that your sister's carrying his child. Is that really just being stupid, or is that just kind of being, you know, I don't care, I'm going to take whatever I want, and I don't care whose feelings I hurt?
At that point in time, that's what it was. I didn't care if I hurted her or not, because we've lost contact, so I didn't really care.
Were you backstage listening to your sister talk about this period in her life? Did you see the pain that was in her face?
And I feel really sorry and bad about it.
And she takes you in because she doesn't want to see you or your children on the streets.
And I'm really thankful for her. I really am.
Why did you leave, Chris?
Because he was mentally abusing me by calling me a dumbass, retarded, stupid. Pretty much I don't amount to anything. And my 3-year-old, he was calling him retarded and a dumbass. And he even told my mom that he was retarded and a dumbass because, and she asked who said it, and he said, Daddy.
Your 3-year-old?
My 3-year-old.
Why would you stay with a man that verbally abuses your children?
Well, I got sick and tired of it, and him physically abusing my 3-year-old.
What was he doing to your 3-year-old?
He twisted his arm and literally pulled it out, his shoulder blade out underneath of his armpit. And he said, well, I'm not going to hurt him. I know it's going to break his arm and stuff like that. And I told him to quit. And I looked at my mom, and I was the one to ask her if I could go home with him, guys, because I couldn't take it anymore. And he hit my 17-month-old and left a big welt and a red mark of his hand on his upper butt and butt.
He's not involved in your sister's child at all, right?
No.
Your sister's child's life?
No,
your
he's
nephew? Isn't that a clue right there? If here's a man that doesn't take care of his children, doesn't provide anything, isn't there for his child at all, doesn't that cause you say, wow, this guy, if he doesn't care about those children of his, why would he care about my children?
Right. I was thinking because, well, since I'm married to him, he'll be there for my kids. And that's not working out. Was
he ever violent with you?
Yes, he pushed me when I was like 6 or 7 months pregnant with my youngest son, who was 11 days old.
And why did he push you?
Because I pushed him, and he got pissed off and pushed me.
And wasn't that right there a clue? I better get out of here to protect my unborn child?
Yeah, but then I wasn't thinking, and I left him shortly after that and was staying in a shelter, and then I was stupid enough to go back to him.
Why are you here today?
Well, to tell my husband that I'm done and through, and I'm getting a divorce.
Are you really?
Finalized. Yes, I am.
All right, let's bring him on. You can tell him.
I'm done with stop. I'm done. I'm getting a divorce, and that's what I want.
Yeah.
So I just
What you
can't
want?
take it. Not at all.
Okay.
Especially physically abusing my kids. And you don't know why I left you? I left you because of
Physically
it.
Pulling Joseph's arm out of place?
Yes.
How come he
twisted
didn't go to the hospital if it was out of the place?
Because you twisted it and you hurt him because he started bawling. And all you could say is he's going to be fine.
He was bawling.
Yes, he was.
No.
Whatever.
He was 3 years old. What the hell are you pulling on a 3-year-old's
I pulled his arm away from the computer. I did not twist his arms around his
Yes,
back and pull it out of place.
So is she lying?
Yes, she's lying.
No, I'm not.
That's obscene.
I've got proof. My mom and my sister both
your mom.
seen it.
Your mom, the one
Yes.
who smokes pot around Joseph when he was younger.
No, she does not.
Yes, she did. That's why you left in the first place. You moved with me.
She don't do any drugs anymore.
No, not anymore. And I praise her for not doing drugs anymore. But she did marijuana around you and Joseph when you guys lived in. And that's why we left. And she violently assaulted me. She did.
I'd be violently assaulting you too if you were dating my daughters.
But still.
Take it anymore. The mental abuse, the physical abuse, I'm done.
You're done told me. But then you talked nice to me the other night, about a week ago on the phone.
You know why I did that? To get you on the show to tell you I'm through. I'm done.
You took a lie detector test before the show.
Yeah.
And the results of your lie detector test. You know, since you've been out here, I haven't, when I ask her something, she doesn't say, well, my husband does it too. My husband does it too. My husband does it too. No. Does she throw you under the bus?
No, but you do say the same names.
Same names. How old are you? Are you really 14? Tell me the truth. Show me a license right now. I want to see your ID. I should take you home. Here, give me a curfew slip. I'm going to write one up right now. A child. Child out, too late. Have to stop him from impregnating the world. Have you ever called your kids names?
No.
You ever call your son retarded?
No. Actually, my sons are very, very smart, especially for the ages they are.
Do you call them dumbass?
No, I don't.
Why not? Why don't you call your kids names?
Because to me, it's disrespectful to my kids. And if I want my kids to be respectful to me, I've got to be respectful to them.
Wow, what a novel idea. Where did she learn that from?
You do call them dumbasses.
Oh,
No,
there
I
you
don't.
go.
Yes, you do.
You're the one that's calling them dumbasses
Ask
and
your
retarded.
aunt.
That's why my 3-year-old son tells my mom, we dumbasses. Well, who told you that? Daddy? We retarded. Who told you that? Daddy? Why would my 3-year-old son say that to my mom?
He said that.
And to me.
He said
yes,
that.
he did.
But you guys just all of a sudden just tell me now, and
Why should we have to tell you when you're the one that's doing it? You have no respect for those
I sat
kids.
there and looked at Joseph and said, "You're retarded."
Yes, ask my mom. He said that to my mom, and I was in the living room, and I heard him say that.
Have you ever heard him say it to your sons?
Yes, I have.
Oh, really?
Yes, I have.
I looked at Joseph and called him a retard.
Yes, you did.
No, I
What do
did
you think
not.
Why would Joseph say anything like that?
What did you do about it?
I told him to knock it off and quit, and my kids ain't retarded.
And if I really done that, why wouldn't you have just left me?
Well, she did. She's
no.
living with your
Why
with
did
her
she not
sister
leave me
now.
right then? Because this supposedly happened a while
I've
ago.
left you several times. And I was stupid enough to keep crawling back to you. But this time is the last and final time.
All right.
I'm not ever going back to you again.
Your mom is here?
Yes.
Let's bring out your mom.
You don't realize I just got my kids back. My girls home with me after they've been gone for so many years. You drove a wedge between my family. Sorry, Steve. You realize how bad that hurt me? For that matter, I will never forgive you. And don't you ever call me moms again. And as far as I'm concerned, you are never, and you never have been, my son-in-law.
Okay.
You will not have no contact with my daughter or my grandsons, just like you have done to me. You kept my grandkids away from me. For what? You tell me. Come on.
You smoking marijuana around Joseph?
Hey, this is not about me.
You just asked why we kept you away from him.
This is about all this stuff now.
Why did we keep you away?
We gave her a drug test today. And she
Well, no,
passed
she's
it.
clean now.
Oh,
She's clean.
oh,
now.
she's clean now.
And
Thank you.
I applaud you for that. I applaud you for that. I do.
I just love the way you sling mud at everybody else. You're probably the you know, I don't want to rate people up here, but you're the worst guy up here.
I know.
You're the worst guy up here. I mean, what did Ashley do wrong? What did Ashley do wrong?
She's never done nothing wrong.
No, did nothing wrong.
No.
She fell in love with you, and she wanted to have a baby. So she did nothing wrong. What did she do wrong? You know what? Besides hurting her own sister, she did nothing wrong to you. She fell in love with you. She gave you a child within a month of knowing you. What did she do wrong? What did mom do wrong? A mother that cares about her daughters is concerned that there's a guy sleeping with both her daughters, having children with them? How about this? How about the concern he shows? Oh, you want a divorce? Okay. You're going home with your mom? Okay. The only thing you care about is your own sexual needs.
Do you honestly want to know why that I have not been answering my phone?
Why?
It's because when your son quit breathing at the hospital, you didn't have the decency to call or show up because you were too busy finding a job, weren't by your phone. The next day, you couldn't even call to even check on him.
Like with Julian.
I would showed up.
You
that
hardly
night.
ever call. Well, matter of fact, you never called. Ashley had to call you. You didn't even want to talk to him. Melissa had to give the phone to you. And you call yourself a man? I tell you what, if you're a man, I tell you one thing, I can do without men.
Let's bring out your other daughter, your sister, your former lover. Let's bring Ashley back out. Is there anything that the sisters want to say to each other?
I love you no matter what, and we're not going to let him get in the way of our love. We are blood. He is nothing to me. Oh, just so you know, you ain't seeing your son. My son. Oh, by the way, he is doing very well, okay? So, you know what?
All the stuff that I put you through being stupid.
You know what, Melissa? We all make mistakes, okay? As long as it doesn't happen again.
Oh, it will never happen again.
I mean this from the bottom of my heart, Ashley. Your forgiveness, you are a much better person than me because I could not forgive at your level. I could not.
He's water. We are blood.
Old Chris here was given a lie detector test. And it was interesting. It's always interesting when the examiner has notes. The subject admitted that he is very physical with his boys and admits that he used excessive force at times while roughhousing with them. He admits that he has thrown Joseph on the bed with excessive force as a form of punishment and twisted his arm.
But not enough. And him and I
No,
talked
no,
about
no,
this.
you didn't say that. Just before you're taking the test, this is what you said. Now you want to add stuff now? No.
No, he said he told me that I would be able to talk about this.
Right, you're going in to take the test and you're admitted to all this. It's because you know you're going to fail. He also admitted to swearing at and in front of the kids and telling Joseph to call his mother a bitch.
She said she's had him. It
Oh,
was
there you
a
go. Here
stupid
comes the
bad-
bus. Here comes. Here comes.
I
What's
know
his
what
name?
you're gonna say.
Go ahead. Say it again. No. You told your son to call your mother, his mother, a bitch.
She kept having him run in there and smack me, tell me no, and call me a bastard. And
So you just had to have him call her a
it
bitch.
was childish of me, yes.
He also admitted to calling the boys dumbass and retard.
Not the retard. I told him dumbass, not retard.
No, you told him retard. There's no reason why. He's no part of the show. He just writes down what you say.
I did not say
Yeah,
he
you
was
did.
a retard.
The subject refused to be tested on the question of trying to hook up with Ashley while Melissa was in labor. He stated that he and Ashley did talk about their past relationship during that time that Melissa was in labor. He stated that she asked him Why did he leave her, and if he loved her? He told her that he did care for her, and if things did not work out with him and Melissa, he would like to get back together with her.
Oh,
Really
no.
now?
you scum.
Really?
No,
You are such a scum, Chris.
Yeah, you're gonna wait until I'm in labor to say anything like this? With your son who freaking quit breathing on me? And this is how you do it.
And at least, by the way, Grandma here stayed at the hospital the whole time with her. I was there more than what you were, and you were his father.
Oh, by the way, I bought him diapers.
who?
Who do you think?
He
Who are
has
we
diapers.
talking about?
He has diapers. Did he?
I bought him diapers. Does that make me the daddy? I'm a better daddy than you.
Well, if you guys would have picked up the phone, I would have known.
Okay, so what you're saying now is that we had to pick up the phone to call you to
No,
tell you that
when
your
I called,
Son needs diapers?
when I called, you could have picked up the phone and told me, hey,
Oh, you don't
Why should I pick up the phone on you?
You know what? The truth of it is, I don't think anybody could stand on this stage right now and be surprised. Surprised at what happens to you when you start thinking it's a good idea to have children with a man you don't even know for a month. That's, in all honesty, you women now need to focus on your children. Be good mothers, be a good grandmother, be in your daughter's life, and that's where the focus needs to be. And in the future, make better decisions on who you're with, who you lay down with, who you think about having children with. It shouldn't be 1 month. I don't know what the magic number is, but I certainly would say 1 month, 1 year is not enough to know somebody long enough to decide to start bringing children into the world. It's not enough. And for you, I got one word for you. Dumbass. Dumbass. Why are you here?
To ask my fiance for forgiveness.
Strangled your fiance?
Yeah.
And when that man that you love, he's squeezing the life out of your throat.
In front of my kids.
He did it in front of your children.
I get the tendency to have me a drink and she get the yapping off at the mouth, and you know, I probably muff up a little bit.
How long has he been abusive to you?
For 6 years.
Get her in line a little bit.
You've been locked up in the past 2 weeks for beating her up. 2 kids, 6 years later, he's got 30 days to change. Why would he change when you don't make him change? Dee Dee, you're 15 years old.
I've been running with the gang. I've been side by side in the drive-by. I've seen people killed. So I started to realize that the stuff I was doing was wrong. I've seen my little sister trying to do it.
You know, I'm getting high, running the streets, fighting. And I've been doing it since I was 10.
She's thinking about stealing cars, having sex with older people.
Lost your virginity at 11 years old.
Yeah, I'm addicted to sex already.
She's trying to be like me.
She wants me to change, but no one can change me.
You're being stupid. This life that you're living is not fun. You need to stop. The gang isn't going to be there for you.
Welcome to the show. My guest is Woodall. And Woodall, I'm going to read some things, and you tell me if these things you've done, okay?
All right.
Strangled your fiance?
Before, yeah.
Hits your fiance in front of your children?
No.
In and out of jail 13 times over the past 2 years?
No.
How many times?
I don't know, actually.
And cheated on your fiance several times?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. Verbally abuse your fiance?
Yeah, something like that.
So why, first of all, Woodall, you strangle a woman, you strangle the mother of your children, right?
Yeah, something like that, man.
Okay, well, why don't you stand up and tell your story to me? How is it something like that?
Oh, just like, you know, I get the tendency to have me a drink and she get the yapping off at the mouth or whatever. You know, I'll be in the right state of mind, and then, you know, I probably muff up a little bit.
And muff her up means what?
Get her up off of me, like when she raising her hands or raising her voice at me or something.
You give her a slap, a crack, choke?
No, I just muff her up, like, you know, probably grab her by the jaw or something and push her back.
But you actually strangled her at one time, too.
Well, probably so. I can't really remember right now. I had the tendency to black out a little bit, though, when I'm off the alcohol.
And how long you been with this woman?
Well, this February will be about like 7 years, going on 7 years.
And how many children do you have with her?
We got like we got two beautiful girls together.
Two beautiful girls?
Yeah.
I gotta imagine you're a pretty big guy. Somebody mess with your daughters, you probably get really pissed off, huh?
Yeah, I'll probably pull out that gauge or something, you know.
Take it to that extreme even,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah.
And so, but when it comes to the woman that bore him, all bets are off. You put your hands on, you do whatever you want to do.
Well, yeah, you know, to get her in line a little bit.
No, I don't know, and I don't get that logic at all. Why is it okay that you put your hands on her?
I mean, you know, I'm just saying, it ain't okay, but I'm just saying, when I'm off that liquor a little bit, you know,
If you got
I'll
a
be
problem with
thinking,
alcohol where you start hitting the mother of your children, maybe it's time to stop drinking. Does a woman have a right to come home and be with her man and with her children and have an expectation of being safe? Wouldn't every woman have that right? Won't your two little girls, when they grow up, wouldn't they have that right, that expectation?
but I don't be wanting my girl to see that stuff, though, you know what I'm saying? She be knowing what she be doing, though, you know what I'm saying?
The girl that you're with, she's somebody's daughter, right? And
Yeah.
I'm sure when they had her and she was a little girl and she was watching Sesame Street, I'm sure there was some man or some woman in her life that didn't want some guy slapping her around, putting his hands around her throat, muffing her up, doing all those kind of things. I certainly don't want it for my daughter when she grows up, and I hope I teach her good enough
So what
as a
would you
father.
do if somebody had sex with somebody in your family, your girl or whatever?
With
Aren't
my
you
wife?
married?
Yeah, I'm married. That's
You
my
married?
wife right there.
What if your wife has sex with somebody, your brother or something?
With my brother?
Or whoever,
All right,
anybody in your
if
family?
she had sex with anybody,
What would you do?
I'd probably get divorced.
You'll get divorced?
Yeah, I'd probably get divorced. What am I going to do, beat her up?
No, I ain't saying you're going to beat her up.
Slap her around maybe a little bit? Put my hands around her throat?
Oh, you
Cut
wanna do
off
that?
her air supply? Nah, that's not me.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I'd be pissed off. I'd be mad. I'd be enraged. And I know I'm going to lose a good woman and everything I had and lose the mother of my children. She won't be in my house anymore.
You probably muff up, too.
You find a woman I ever put my hands on, you go and find one.
You the man then, I guess, huh?
I'm not the man. I am a man. And I think a real man doesn't put his hands on a woman.
Okay.
What do you feel about that?
I mean, you know, I did what I did, you know. I'm facing the consequences right now.
And what's the consequences?
You know, I got in trouble with the law about it, you know.
Let me ask you, if the law didn't, if there was no consequences, would you stop? Would you stop hitting her? Would you stop choking her? How long has he been abusive to you?
For 6 years.
And when that man that you love, he's squeezing the life out of your throat.
In front of my kids.
He did it in front of your children.
I've been side by side in the drive-by. I've seen people killed. I've seen my little sister trying to do it.
You know, I'm getting high, running the streets, fighting, and I've been doing it since I was 10.
Lost your virginity at 11 years old.
Yeah, I'm addicted to sex already.
Let me ask you, if the law didn't, if there was no consequences, would you stop? Would you stop hitting her? Would you stop choking her?
Yeah, I probably would.
Probably?
I mean, you know, it first is going to start with me, you know. I know that already.
You're 29 years old. It's not like you're some kid running the streets. You're a grown man. You're a father of 2 children. What the hell are you thinking? You've been locked up in the past 2 weeks for beating her up. In the past 2 weeks. This ain't ancient history. This is an ongoing thing. And you honestly don't think your little girls not going to know, grow up knowing what you did, how you treated their mother. And you know what's sick? Then women like that, they grow up and they think that's the way they're supposed to be treated. They think that's the way it is. And you give them a lifetime pass to get slapped by some man thinking it's all right. You better believe the damage you're doing, whether you want to believe it or not. And you know, as bad as that is, 2 weeks ago, you get a $20,000 settlement. And your fiance says you spent it all on yourself, bought nothing for your 2 children, and that she had to go out and even borrow money from a friend for diapers. $20,000. So did you spend any money on your little girls?
Few bucks here and there. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Me and her was feuding or whatever. I probably
spend more than a few bucks
I probably
on
should have
yourself?
left a little bit more money behind than what I did, but you know, I went out splurging, doing what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? We trying to make work or whatever, though. You know?
You know what? You're a father. You are a father. At what point you're out running around splurging and acting a fool? Exactly when do you grow up?
Hopefully soon here, then, man. You know?
Hopefully. Spend any of that money on other women?
No.
Think about it for a while.
I mean, you know.
Yeah,
I mean,
maybe a few drinks.
If a drink here and there is what you want to call spending on a woman, then yeah.
Did you buy anything for your kids?
No.
Why is that?
I haven't had time to even be around the kids.
You've been time buying strange females in the bar drinks, but you can't buy your own children a present? You could have time running, splurging, spending, buying women drinks that aren't the women you're with, but you don't have time for your 2 special women? You don't have time to go buy them something? Diapers? Why are you here?
To ask my fiance for forgiveness.
For forgiveness?
Yeah, for what I done.
And why should she forgive you?
Because I think I can make a change with this stuff here, what I done did, you know?
And when are you going to make that change?
As soon as possible. I haven't drank in like about a week.
Wow, that's willpower, man.
Oh, yeah? That's what it is?
Do you think that's what it is?
Whatever, man.
Whatever. The Song of the Coward. I love it. Think she'd do anything to deserve this kind of treatment? Your fiancée should do anything bad that you had to do this to her?
She just need to watch her mouth, you know what I'm saying, when she talking to me.
She has to
I be
watch
telling
her
her.
mouth.
Just feel like calm down a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Everything gonna be all right. She just keep on yapping off, telling her friends everything, what they got to do with my business.
So your girl says you drink too much, do you?
I don't think I do.
Well, how much do you drink?
I
Enough
mean,
where you're blacking out afterwards?
I mean, just when I drink, I drink.
When you
know what I'm
drink, you
saying?
drink.
Yeah.
And when you don't, you don't.
When I don't, I don't.
You're a pretty smart guy.
Yeah, I know.
But you drink so much that when you drink, you'll lose control and you start doing things that you shouldn't be doing, right?
Yeah.
Slapping her around a little bit, muffing her, doing whatever you do. So you don't have control of yourself as a man when you're drinking. You might do something real stupid. You might end up even in jail, right? It
Yeah,
happens.
sometimes.
Sometimes. How many 29 years old, how many times you been locked up?
Say about 24, 25 times.
How often you drink?
When I'm in the house with her, every chance I can get out the house.
So when you get out of the house, you start drinking?
I sneak off to the liquor store or something.
And you said you cheat on her, right?
Yeah, I cheated on her.
She cheat on you?
And she cheated on me in the past.
Why would you stay with a woman like that? If you're doing that,
Because I love her.
Because you love her?
Yeah, I love her.
And how do you show that love?
I've been showing it here and there, you know.
Here and there. Well, let's bring her out. Let's hear what she has to say.
And you want me to sit
I don't
down?
know why you think this is such a joke.
Huh?
You act like this is a damn joke. This is serious. And you're getting on my damn nerves. I'm watching you back there and I'm getting pissed off. For real. Because it's all so funny. But it's not funny. It's old and it's stupid. You look like a dumbass.
2 kids, 6 years later, and he's got 30 days to change. Why would he change when you don't make him change?
She's thinking about stealing cars, having sex with older people.
Lost your virginity at 11 years old.
Yeah.
She's trying to be like me.
She wants me to change, but no one can change me.
How long you been with
Getting
him?
so old. 6 years.
6 years, and how old are your children?
2 and 8 months.
How long has he been abusive to you?
For 6 years.
Okay, this is a crazy question. Why would
Why?
you stay with this man and have children with him?
Because Waddell
when
has a
he's
lot of
abusive?
potential. He can be a good person, and anybody can say whatever they want to say, but when
No,
Waddell's sober,
nobody's going to say anything.
when
We're
Waddell's
only hearing
sober,
what
he's
you
a
say.
wonderful person. He really is. When he's been drinking, he acts like a completely different person, and he takes a lot of it out on me, and that's what I'm sick of.
And how does he take it out on you?
He likes to get loud and start talking, and we get to arguing. He says I run my mouth. I don't see how it's running my mouth when I'm just, I'm just asking for a change. I'm not asking for too much.
So you told our producers he strangled you. Mm-hmm. That must have scared you. Big guy, put his hand around your neck. This is a guy that you obviously have
Love.
some level of trust with, right? Love.
Mm-hmm.
And when that man that you love, that man that you're having children with, he's squeezing the life out of your throat. What the hell's going
In
through
front
your
of
mind?
my kids.
What's that?
In front of my kids.
He did it in front of your children.
In front of my 2-year-old.
What is going through your mind when he's
She
doing
didn't
that?
see that.
She did see it. She was laying in the bed.
She was laying in the bed. We was in the front room.
It was in the bedroom up against the wall.
So it's better that you choked her out of sight.
It's not good at all.
That's my point. And you called the police and they got locked up.
Yeah, I waited until he fell asleep.
I'm sure the police
don't
were
think
very
it's
happy
funny.
about that. Made things easier for them, right? I'm told you want to marry him?
We've talked about it, but you see, I ain't done it
Why don't you?
because I don't feel right about it right now.
Okay.
Until Waddell changes.
And how long will you give him to change?
Well, a week ago I told him 30 days. He's got 30
How
days.
about you've given him 6 years?
I know.
And so what, another 30 days? And what
Well-
happens after that? Another 30 days?
No. 30 days.
And what happens after, and what changes has you got to make?
Well, getting a stable job. Stop arguing around the kids.
What about the drinking?
And that's the biggest thing.
And what does he have to do? Stop drinking?
He needs to.
And you say that's when all the problems start, is when he starts drinking.
Yes, sir.
How about the fact that he comes in all this money, doesn't spend any on you, doesn't spend any on your 2 little girls, but he spends it on himself?
At first, I couldn't even control myself. I almost had a nervous breakdown, and my mom had to get me under control because I was so pissed off. I've calmed down a little bit, but I think it's messed up. He didn't even buy his kids a pack of Pampers. Nothing. Not a damn, nothing. Nothing.
Do you think he's a good father?
Yes.
So let me get this straight.
To his children.
Drinks too much, beats the mother of his children, right?
Make it like I
He
beat her
doesn't
like
beat.
that.
It's not like that. It's not like he beats me on a regular basis, but yes. he does.
Semi-regular basis?
He puts his hands on me.
2 weeks ago, he strangled you and went
Yes.
to jail for it.
Yes.
I don't know. What would you call it? You want to downplay it.
violent-
If you're here and he's a good guy and you're okay with
Yeah.
that, and you're okay with him trying to strangle you, why are you
I'm not
downplaying
okay
his
with
actions?
it. I'm not okay with it. I'm not okay with it. I'm not okay with it.
You yourself said your 2-year-old daughter saw it. What exactly does he have to do for you to say, no more? My God, why would he change when you don't make him change? You don't lay the law down.
That is the truth.
My thing is, it's smiling, it's funny.
It's funny.
But you know the truth is,
It's
I'm glad you're laughing at me.
Not funny.
You tolerate it,
So
and
then
he knows you're not going to
I'm
do
not
anything.
serious.
He doesn't have to change because you're going to keep putting up with it. You went to jail 2 weeks ago for choking her out, for strangling her. And why'd you wait till he was asleep? Because you were scared of him?
Yeah.
Because if you would have been calling 911, what would
I
you have
wouldn't have
done?
been able to.
You wouldn't have been able to. Because he would have physically stopped you from calling, right? So he goes to jail. You actually get him out of the house. He's in jail.
It's fine.
Why do you let him back in?
I don't know.
You don't know? See,
Stupidity.
here's the thing, Jackie. You try to really help somebody. And from what you're saying, sounds like a very serious situation. Like a bad, screwed up situation. And then you try to help, you try to rectify the problem, you remove the problem, and then a week later, you're letting them back in. You know what? It seems like you're okay with this. Yeah. It seems like, no, I got to say, I don't see a whole lot of passion in you. I don't even see that you're scared of this guy. I think you're just tolerating it. I don't think you want to.
Why would she be scared?
Why would she be scared?
Yeah.
If somebody tried to choke me out and I had to wait to call the police until they were asleep, I think that's reason enough that I would say I'm scared.
She done broke my nose and everything before.
She broke your nose.
Yeah, she broke my nose.
So you're the victim up here. You're the domestic violence victim up here, huh? I should be protecting you.
I was that day.
Right? I
was the victim that day.
You need my help? You need my help to protect you?
I probably needed you that day.
That day. Well, you know what? You know what? Again, I don't want to waste any more time. I don't want to waste my audience time.
Right.
I don't think you're serious about it. When you're serious and you really want my help, then you call me and I'll come back. Waddell was arrested for putting his hands on Jackie. He's in jail, and Jackie says she's done with him. I'm told that you cut yourself.
I do.
What?
I break a shaving razor and use that razor. I started cutting on my arms, on my legs.
She wants me to change, but no one can change me.
You're being stupid. This life that you're living is not fun. You need to stop. The gang isn't going to be there for you.
Dee Dee, you're 15 years old. Why are you here?
Well, Steve, I've been running with the gang. This is my second time on probation. I actually am supposed to have a leg monitor on my leg. I don't have it on right now because of the flight. I'm supposed to have it on 24/7. For the gang, I've sold crack, sold weed, smoked cocaine, weed. Actually, to this day, I still smoke weed. And everything I've done for the gang. I've been side by side in drive-by, and I did it all for the gang, you know. They showed me unconditional love.
And so you're doing drive-bys.
Yes, I was side by side in drive-by.
Side by side in driveways. Is that an act of unconditional love to somebody?
They were there for me.
Why would you be in a gang to begin with?
My mother worked 2 jobs. She was never home. When she was home, I was at school.
She's a single mother?
Yes.
Working 2 jobs? Trying to support her children?
Yes.
Let me know when you get to the bad part.
She was never there. She was always at work. She was never home with the kids. She was
struggling.
But
your mom's not, she's not on drugs or anything, right?
No.
She's not a prostitute,
No.
heroin addiction. Just a single mother working 2 jobs.
Yes.
So you got nothing bad to say about your mother?
She was never there.
She ever beat you?
No.
Doesn't beat you, not drinking, not doing drugs, working 2 jobs to support her family. gosh, you know what that sounds like to me? Unconditional love.
But at the same time, that is exactly what the gang was showing me. You know, at least I was with somebody who I knew cared for me.
Or you think that cares for you.
Yeah, I thought they cared for me.
You say that you wear a leg monitor, right?
Yes.
Because you're under house arrest?
Yes.
Now, what's the next step after an ankle monitor? Someday you'll be going to jail, right?
Yes.
Who's going to come visit you, your mother or the gang?
I realized that the hard way. The gang pulled me away from my family. And then they turned their backs on me. I started to realize that the stuff I was doing was wrong. I see my little sister doing it. She looks up to me. She follows in my footsteps.
And how does that make you feel?
It hurts me to death. Like I said, I've been side by side in a drive-by. I've seen people killed. I've had to be on the streets selling coke and weed to get money for the gang. And I realized I've seen my little sister trying to do it, trying to get in the gang, and I realized that's not what I want. I don't want my little sister trying to be like me. And if she does want to be like me, I want my life to be the right life.
You've already, at the age of 15, have been charged with 2 felonies?
Yes.
And you've been taken to juvenile centers,
Yes.
juvenile detention. You're 15 now. When did you start getting involved in these gang activities?
When I was 14 years old.
So you did it for like a year, couple of years?
Yeah,
I'm told that you cut yourself.
I do.
And why would you cut yourself?
After the gang turned their backs on me, like I said, I had nobody. I had turned my back on my family. I thought the gang was gonna be there for me. It turns out they didn't care about me. Once I hit in trouble, they left me. They didn't come by and see me. I got really upset about that. I started cutting on my arms, on my legs.
And what do you use? A knife or a razor blade? What?
I break a shaving razor and use that razor.
And when you're doing it, what do you get out of it, cutting your own flesh?
The pain goes away mentally for the time that you cut.
But isn't there something else that you can do? Talk to your mother, talk to your sister.
I was always afraid that I would get rejected.
Are you done with the cutting now?
Yes.
Okay, so, and how were you able to stop?
I sat down and I realized cutting's nothing good. Once you get done cutting, once that pain comes back, the problem's still gonna be there. You have to solve your problems, talk to somebody, tell them how you feel, you know?
And I'm told you're having sex with older men.
Yes.
And why are you doing that?
The younger men only want one thing, and that's not what I'm looking for. The older men show me the love and compassion that a man should show his girlfriend.
Really? And these older men, how old are they?
19, 18.
I'm going to give you a little clue. They all want the same thing. Does this game teach you anything?
You know how to fight, stand
How
up
to
for
fight.
myself.
You know how to fight?
Yep.
I'll tell you what. Give Uncle Steve a slap.
No.
But I see your daughter going to give you a hug and you kind of brush her away. And I think when your daughters do get to spend time with you and they come to you, I don't think you brush them off. I think you embrace your child and you give her a hug. And you are on house arrest for what?
Stealing cars.
Stealing cars. And you're here today because you have a little sister that's 13 years old.
Yes.
From what I understand, you're saying you understand that we're going down a really bad path.
I'm ready to change.
You're ready to change. And the worst thing that could happen is if your sister follows in your footsteps with some of the things that you did.
I started talking to her about the stuff that I was doing, but I realized I shouldn't have done that. She was only 12 years old, 13 years old at the time. She takes everything to heart. she's going to start following me, and that's not what I want. I want her to see that my life is not the life she wants to have.
And what is your sister doing?
She is trying to run with the gang. She's thinking about stealing cars. She is having sex with older people. She's trying to be like me. And that is exactly what I do not want for her.
Do you blame yourself for this?
I do.
Because of the...
For talking to her about it and telling her how I was.
Did you glamorize it when you were talking to her?
I did.
Dee Dee, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to go backstage. I'm going to talk to your sister. I'm going to bring her out, talk to you, and I'll give you a chance to come out and talk to your sister. All right? If you'll go back out there. All right, Dee Dee's sister is 13 years old. Her name is Abigail. Let's bring her out. How you doing, Abigail?
I'm good.
You want to sit down?
No.
No? Can I sit down? You don't mind, do you? Because I'm old and I'm tired. So your older sister's here, and she's 15 years old, and she talks about doing a lot of bad things. Being in a gang, figures, man, the gang ain't so great, changes her ways, she starts cutting herself, mutilating her own body. What do you think about those things?
You know, I really don't care. You know, that's her. That's her problem. I don't do it, so it's all her.
It's all her? You don't care about anything that your sister does?
No.
Do you love your sister?
Yeah.
She's worried that she's been a bad role model for you, Abigail. She feels that she had, I mean, your sister comes on, it's gotta be tough for a 15-year-old girl to come on TV and say, I've been a bad big sister and I'm leading my little sister down a bad path. I don't want my little sister to go down there. Don't you think that's pretty brave of your sister to come on here and do that?
Well, no, because she's faking it. Once we get back home, she's going to go ahead and do what she was doing. She's going to still act bad. She's just faking it.
She's faking it?
Yes.
So what's the whole point of this?
She thinks she wants me to change, but no one can change me.
Why can't we change you?
Because,
What are you doing wrong?
You know, I'm getting high, running the streets, fighting. I mean, I go and drive-bys. I do whatever. I do everything when my gang wants me to, so I go ahead and do it.
Is that a really smart way to live your life, that join a group of people that are just doing idiotic things and you're going along because they say to do it?
I mean, I don't care. It's fun.
Is it fun?
Me.
Is it really fun to like do hurtful things to other people?
Yeah, it actually is.
And how is it fun? How do you take pleasure out of that?
Because if I get mad or anything, I could take it out on somebody else. It really don't matter. My mom's not there to listen, either is my sister.
You're in a gang, smoking weed at 13, sleeping with older men.
Yep.
Lost your virginity at 11 years old. You slept with 3 or 4 guys since. You also date women. So at 13 years old, you're all over the place. When you say you're sleeping with older men, how old the men are you sleeping with?
19.
19. And why do you think you're sleeping with these 19-year-olds?
Because, you know, I'm addicted to sex already. It don't bother me. Age ain't nothing but a number. I don't really care.
I love you with all I have.
I am your gang. I'm your mother. Me, I am all that you need.
You're being stupid. This life that you're living is not fun. You need to stop. The gang isn't going to be there for you.
When you go to see a doctor someday and he either tells you you're pregnant or you got HIV or you got something else, will it just be a number then? Maybe I lived to 15 or 16 or 17?
It really won't bother me. I don't care.
It really won't bother you. You'll sit there in the face of death at 15, 16, 17 and say, I don't care.
Yep.
I'm going to die.
I really don't care.
How did you develop such toughness at such a young age?
Because I was raised in the hood and
You
I
were
got
raised
taught.
in the hood and they
Yep.
taught you. And what makes you tough?
Because I get in fights, you know,
get in fights.
everybody's scared of me. And I don't
Everybody's
care.
scared of you.
Yep.
Well, exactly what are they scared of?
You know, me, just me.
Just you. I'm sorry, but I have a lack of fear right now.
I really don't care.
Oh Lord. How so you're a sex addict at 13. How often are you having sex?
Probably twice a day.
Twice a day. Do you use any kind of birth control or protection for yourself? Nothing.
Nope.
No interest in protecting yourself. And is there anything that you do care about?
My gang.
Your gang. The almighty gang. And what does the gang do for you?
They get me money. They get me weed.
They give you money. And they give you weed. What else do they give you?
They give me love.
So family means nothing to you?
Nope.
So if somebody walked up and shot your mother in the head, you wouldn't care?
Nope.
No. But does this gang teach you anything?
Yep.
Tell me what they teach you.
You know how to fight, stand up
How
for
to fight.
myself.
You know how to fight?
Yep.
Can you show me a punch?
No.
Why not?
Because I have to have somebody up here.
Officer Mike, can you come up here, please? Police officer's gonna arrest you.
I'm not gonna
You
fight
got
him.
you don't have to fight. He's not gonna
I
do
ain't
anything.
even gonna do anything to you.
I just want to see a punch. You don't have to. Just pretend he's there and throw a punch at him.
No.
The gang teaches you how to fight.
No.
Right? Yeah, you're the toughest girl, 13-year-old on the planet.
No.
Here's a freebie. I'll tell you what. Forget Officer Mike. Give Uncle Steve a slap.
No.
Just give me one of those, you know, like I'm one of the other gang girls from another gang.
No.
I spit on your gang.
No.
What do you think your future is?
I mean, I do go to school.
Oh, you do go to school. Why?
Because, I mean,
Won't the gang
I like
just
school.
take care? Don't you get a pension plan from the gang?
No, I mean, I like going to school.
You like going to school. And what do you like about going to school?
Because, I mean, I like my teachers. And
You must like learning then. So how can that be? If you like going to school and you actually like your teachers and you like learning, which is very good to hear, then how could you possibly think that any of these other people, they're in this gang or whatever you want to call it, how could they possibly try to do anything for you? These teachers are there, and why are they there? To help you get along, to be a better person, so you can do something with your life. You could achieve so much. Your sister, she's regretting it already. She's only 15 years old. Now, do you really enjoy doing bad things?
no, not really.
Do you plan on finishing school?
Yeah.
Is this, I mean, you hear your sister, the life that she's living, what you're living, is this really something that you want?
No.
I would hope not, and I could see it in your eyes a little bit. I want to bring your sister out because your sister really wants to talk to you. Let's bring your sister back out. Now, Dee Dee, your sister says you're faking this, that you're just going to go back to that life when you get back, that you really don't mean it.
You're being stupid. This life that you're living is not fun. I have to wear an ankle monitor 24/7. I can't go to anybody's house. That's not how you want to live, is it? Then why are you doing this?
Because I see you doing it.
You see me trying to change here. I don't want to go to jail again. You need to stop. You need to love your family to death, appreciate mom and everything that she's going to do and has done for you. You need to love your family, Abby. I am here for you. I'm trying to change my life. You do not want to go down the path that I've been down. I'm telling you, Abby, it's rough. It's hard. The gang isn't going to be there for you. They're just brainwashing you. Once you get in trouble, they're not going to be there for you. You see, my gang isn't there for me. I want to show you that I love you. I love you more than that gang ever will. You're not going anywhere good. You want to graduate school? What do you want to be?
A lawyer?
You can't be a lawyer running with the gang. You can't be a lawyer judging gang members. You're in a gang yourself. That's a big hypocrite. You can't, Abby.
You're starting to cry. Why are you starting to cry?
It's the truth.
What is the truth?
Everything she's saying, it's true.
Well, your mother's backstage, and this is hard for her to watch. I want to bring your mother out.
Let me tell you both something. I was 17 years old when I had your brother. It is hard. It is extremely hard to take care of him when I was young. Okay, I've told y'all over this. We have a family member at the age of 9 years old that was kidnapped, raped, and left for dead. Okay, when she finally awoke, she asked for her sister. I cannot do this.
You know, I hear you just say that, but I see your daughter going to give you a hug and you kind of brush her away. And I'm like, you know what? I understand you're working 2 jobs, and I believe me, I've been the one defending you out here. I'm saying, hey, these 2 young girls, they have a mother that busts her butt and is working. But I think when your daughters do get to spend time with you and they come to you and they want they need something from their mother, like a hug, I don't think you brush them off. I think you embrace your child and you give her a hug.
I love you with all I have. I love you both with everything. I don't know what else to do. I just want y'all to listen, behave, and trust my judgment because I've been there, done that. I want y'all to be my little girls. I do not want to find y'all, someone come and tell me that I have to go identify the bodies of my daughters. Just get out of all of this. I am your gang. I'm your mother. Me. I am all that you need. Is me. Okay? Please, please, Dee Dee.
I'm ready to change, Mama. I'm ready. I'm done with everything. I'm trying to help Abby. I'm ready. We can do it together.
I love you.
Love you too.
We love you, Mama.